We party every weekend, and here's why. There are many benefits in having an outgoing lifestyle. Despite knowing the effects of partying on one's health, partying can also help cope with stress for people who have it. Parties are perfect for both occasions of joy and sorrow because they serve as two sides of the same coin. You also get to make new friends and interact with newfound people. This has been the typical Western party scene. Flashing lights, loud music, and relentless cigarette and liquor consumption. The typical headache and hangover follow, along with smudged makeup and a heavy cigarette smell in your hair the next morning. People who enjoy an active social life outside of work, particularly weekend partying, know that it comes at a cost. Sleeplessness, poor eating habits, or too many drinks can all have an influence on one's health over time. And we can't ignore the fact that excessive partying may affect one's life in all aspects. But why do people do this despite knowing its effects? Why do individuals desire and anticipate it despite the frequently occurring headaches? Why do people spend hours preparing to go somewhere? Is it the thrill for unexpected things to happen? Hey beautiful people, welcome back to Life and Emotions Explained. In this video, we will cover the reasons for this wild and outgoing lifestyle and how it may affect people's lives. Before we begin, make sure to tap the subscribe button for more content like this. Number 1, escape. Everyone yearns to eventually escape their current situations. People don't really care where you're from or what you've done. You can be whatever you want to be. The only criteria for evaluation are your appearance and self-assurance. The party scene environment is the ideal setting for distraction. From the lights to the gorgeous guy or chick beside the bar, whether you're trying to get away from your tiresome chores, problems, or thoughts. When someone is feeling lost or suffocated by what is going on in their own lives, they will find a solution to resolve these things. Things that want to break free, things that want to forget, and more. Partying, alcohol, smoking, and worst of all, drugs are the things that most can think of to resolve their problems. They think that coexisting with these particulars will somehow lessen their problems or even assume that the problems that they are dealing with will be mitigated. But the truth is that it will only relieve the stress that they are feeling at that exact moment, not the real problem. Excessive partying, alcohol, smoking, and drugs may help cope with stress, but will also lead to health abuse. It will have an impact not only on your physical health, but also on your overall health. There's always some kind of story to tell after a party. It might be something you're especially proud of or regret greatly. No matter how pleasant a moment may be, you must realize that it only lasts for a brief moment. It's an escape, as previously stated, and you can't flee forever. Number 2, social pressure. Aren't you going to the party? You're just going to sit at home all night? Boring! You either go out because you feel like you have to, or else people think you're uninteresting, or you drag yourself out and get ready because you don't want to miss out and spend the evening feeling lonely and bored at home. Having frequent social activities with your friends and the opportunity to unwind after a demanding week of meetings, studies, jobs, and assessments may seem like fun, but when does this relentless need to party and keep pace with others become a problem? The solution isn't simple, and it differs for each person. Some people enjoy and grow in other various lifestyles. Our circumstances change, and so on. Some will never experience that kind of fun because they just live in the party bubble. It is crucial to recognize when going out turns into more of a hassle than a pleasure, and when the primary motivation is no longer to enjoy yourself with friends, but rather to fit in or because you feel obligated. Number 3, loneliness. The majority of people attend parties to catch up with their friends, while others also go to celebrate events that are either work-related or not. However, some people frequently attend parties as a result of their loneliness. Attending parties is one way for people to get rid of the crippling psychological effects of loneliness and sorrow. Even if they are aware that nothing might change once the party is over, they nevertheless want to experience joy for even a moment in order to forget about the things that make them feel lonely. Breakups often lead to loneliness, leading to a habit of going out. Number 4, boredom. Who would choose to be bored? I assume no one? Attending parties is one way to pass the time if one is bored. Most people who don't have obligations or chores to do are the ones who frequently attend parties because they have nothing else to do or have no deadlines to meet. For people of this type, partying is a way to pass the time and escape boredom. Simply put, it's fun. Everyone knows and actively engages in the practice of attending parties for the sole purpose of having fun. The environment is intended to heighten each of the five senses because it is a sensory experience. There is only the present, and you are there to make the most of it at that very moment, so you forget who you are and what you are supposed to do. And the bottom line of it is to escape boredom. Number 5, meet new people. Parties are crucial. Whether you love them or dislike them, they are places where people make friends, potential partners, business and romantic relationships. Who among us wouldn't want to party? With the exception of the most independent and self-assured partygoer. And who is that obnoxious person anyway? Finding someone you enjoy spending time with is one of life's most essential requirements. Your sense of self-worth and self-confidence are significantly impacted by social connectedness. One of the best ways to gather people is through parties. We humans are naturally driven to be self-indulgent and appreciate the conveniences, pleasures, and fun of life. We usually seek satisfaction and amusement. Parties offer the best environment for social interaction, where status, position, and financial security don't matter. As a result, they can be an effective form of therapy for those who struggle with depression, social anxiety, shyness, inferiority complexes, and other personality flaws. However, despite knowing these things, the fact can't be disregarded that excessive partying will affect our health in general. These effects will alter the course of one's life. Going out with friends can be a lot of fun and can foster connections, but there comes a point where having a good time can turn into a problem. Hitting up bars or clubs on the weekends can develop into risky addictions and unhealthy behaviors. People frequently indulge themselves on the weekend to unwind from the work week, but many then spend the second half of the week trying to recover from their weekend indiscretions. Weekend partying can also turn into worse behavior. Typically, the work week officially ends on a Friday evening. Thursday drinking shouldn't be harmful, right? Only one day left. A perfectly harmless weekend habit can eventually develop into a complete addiction. What started out as a method of stress relief can be developed into a worrisome form of therapy. Not attending parties is not the problem. Substance abuse is the issue. You can still have a good time without going overboard. You don't have to party for everything, which is an essential point to keep in mind. Remember, not every occasion calls for a wild celebration that leaves you needing the following day to recover. Even holidays don't call for a wild binge. You can have a fun celebration with your friends and drink sensibly or not at all. It's time to look for alternatives to weekend parties if you're concerned that you might have a problem. Before going back to work, use this time off to unwind and recharge. Spend your free time outside of a bar with your family or friends, or use it to learn a new skill. In your free time, try reading a new book or watching a new show. Consider enrolling in a different course. Even though partying after work may feel therapeutic, it won't change the fact that you still have to go back to work or school on Monday. Mondays won't feel as bad if you have a fulfilling weekend where you take care of your body and give yourself time to unwind in a healthy way. You might believe that participating in the fun is a requirement for being trendy, but it's not. There are lots of other ways to be trendy. Remember, partying can eventually turn into a problem, and anyone who thinks they're having a good time when they go out might be putting themselves at risk of developing a serious addiction. Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray, once said that everything is good, but in moderation. It simply means that we can party, smoke, and consume alcoholic beverages, but we must know when enough is enough and understand our limits. The best option is to party in moderation and recognize that a drink or two aren't always required. If you're concerned that you or a friend may be having a problem, it is time to discover how you or your loved one can receive the treatment they require before it's too late. I hope you enjoyed and gained a lot of knowledge in this video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe to Life and Emotions Explained for more videos like this in the future. See you around, and be positive, safe, and happy out there.